Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So we finally got to Dargonus. It's the last of the 3 worlds we needed to recapture for our protectorate. And in the last episode, we kind of did some of the stuff around getting to it. When we tried to land, the Adeptus Mechanicus came on and tried to accuse Pascal of being a traitor. And we kind of dealt with that more or less. And then there was 2 places to land, one of which was getting the her essentially merchant license, which had us land here, and then it's told us to get 2 seals, one of which we had to fly back to Janus to get. And I figured if I was going to go to the Von Valencius Palace, that was going to take quite a bit of time. So I kind of ended up leaving this for the beginning of this part of the episode. Now, if I recall correctly, technically it's saying here I don't have to take anyone from my party while I land, but there are multiple quests here. So Heinrichs had a quest for me, as much as I would rather bring Abelard as my frontliner. Solomorn had a quest here for me, and Jay had a quest here for me. So that leaves 2 people that I can bring. Cassie is a little overpowered. I would like to bring her. Abelard's overpowered, he will not drop the way I have him built. Argenta just absolutely drops things, and Pascal has amazing range and damage. So it's kind of I don't know who to bring here, if we're even going to be getting into fights, because I don't know what's all going to be here. And I don't know that I necessarily need to bring all 3 of these, or if I could just bring them one at a time and get the quests done later, which I probably could do. But I feel like I should kind of change things up here. And Solomorn and Heinrichs being more or less frontliners, I think could make up for Abelard. So let's bring Pascal here, and part of me says not to bring Cassia, but then I can get extra shots off with anyone that I want. So maybe we try her still, rather than bringing Argenta, who can just burst anyone down, and which I've been relying on a lot recently. If it comes down to that. Actually, no, I need either Argenta or Cabela when it comes down to the skills, because that is demolition, so I can't give her up. This is going to be somewhat interesting. So we will be bringing Argenta, but then we lose Cassia's ability for extra shots and stuff. So we'll see how this works. But essentially, when we're landing, this is going to be the planet where the protectorate for the Von Valencius is based out of. So I'm not sure what's going to be here other than more paperwork stuff and being recognized as the Von Valencius Rogue Trader. That's just the overview that we were kind of given, but we also have a quest from Heinrich to meet someone who he has installed here that works for technically us, but is not a mole, but he's an informant for Heinrichs. We need one of the seals from the palace for Jay to get her merchant license, essentially. And Solomorn needs to meet with one of his higher ups that's on the palace, if I remember right. So that's why we're bringing these 3. And they really like me here. Is this one gonna get botched? Greetings, your lordship. Glory to the great rogue trader. Oh yeah, they don't like me. Long live the rogue trader. Well, at least I'm getting a great reception. Great to see this world isn't in shambles yet. And who are you two? Clementia. We're Syrian, so someone related to Abelard. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long, full-dress uniform gracefully makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementia Wersarian, Court Chancellor of the Von Valencius dynasty. On behalf of all Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valencius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And though still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Ooh, he looks interesting. He's got something going on with his neck, so I'm not sure if that's some type of plague or ailment, and then he's got mechanisms to help with that, or if he's just made to look somewhat evil and you're not supposed to trust him right away, but I don't trust him right away. Achilles Galander. We're supposed to meet with him for something, I think. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Galander, Secretary to the Administrative Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwelcomed troubles. We had some incidents, but irrelevant at this moment. Quite right, your lordship. What happened cannot be changed, but you still have great deeds ahead of you, so let us look to the future with hope in our hearts. Okay. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have? Governor Urbend Divestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. Preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? She nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Worsarian, and I thought she was going to be older than Abelard. I am of House Worsarian, Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. Okay. The succession of service is an effective good, and grants new generations understanding of their functions with the mechanism. Why isn't the governor with you? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world, by the administrative palace of Dargonus. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel great distances of your domain. Logic test succeeded. Chancellor Worsarian appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with a new rogue trader. Yeah, I think it was a slight to me. I would like to rest. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. His face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. Alright, dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation? I am certain you would find my report on the state of affairs on the Von Valencia's Protectorate most useful. Sure, buddy. I would like to look around here, though. Oh, my party kind of split up. So I am walking all alone. Is there anyone... Why is this man named Shady Character? We'll get the loot. Why are you named Shady Character? What a lively day it is, your lordship. Your presence only makes it better. What, my lord? I don't understand what you mean. Why is an aristocrat talking to a shady character? I don't trust that. Toss a coin into the fountain.
How fascinating.
Glinting in the light, the coin falls into a clear water and sinks to the bottom. Okay. There's an encrusted chrono and then some engraved flasks there. Hey, Cabela, you doing okay there? Make your people leave. Their idle questions are getting in the way of my watch. More holy cargo. Just kind of looking around here. Hey, do you like the tree? The walls of your home suffocate me, Elentok. I long to leave this twisted world at the first opportunity. A living fruit-bearing tree in the heart of a hive world is a fantastical sight. They probably use a lot more water and tend to this tree than the average Dargonus citizen can hope to receive in their daily ration. Huh. Something is going to happen very soon, and I do not trust this. But let's go talk to the guy. Because something is obviously up. The governor didn't want to be here. There's people talking to quote-unquote shady characters, which I already don't trust, and with that cutscene, it kind of looked like some of the nobles were... Whoa, what the hell? Welcome, your lordship. Let me inform you the location of the chamber on your dynastic estate. Okay. The main throne room up the stairs to the straight ahead. Subject Achilles Scalander informed me that humbly awaits the opportunity to meet you there. Okay. If your lordship wishes to rest after your long journey, then you can personal chambers up to the right, upstairs to the right, so up this way. Helpful. If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, I'll be next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting your orders. I don't trust that, but sure. That wasn't really necessary. I want to go down here. So, Tech Priest and then Servitors are down here. That's what I was looking at. These guys looked off. Some Aristocrats. Some trophies down here with... That looks like a Necron mask, if I'm being totally honest. A lot of people in here as well. Big open chamber. Why do I have to tech use this open? Nonetheless, okay. Glory to the Rogue Trader. Sure. Mistress Haydari, my patience is not easily exhausted, but you are coming very close. I shall... Oh, I didn't get to finish that. I can see the family resemblance with Abelard. Now you cannot see farther than your own nose, dear Clementia. It wasn't a bribe. Let the Rogue Trader decide. Your lordship, I must apologize for this ugly scene, but might I ask you to rein in Mistress Haydari and put a stop to her inflammatory actions towards me? As the Exalted One as my witness, Shireen, I tried everything I could to spare you any unnecessary headache over the seals for the Mercurium Tabula Officii. I even showed this aid with a temper worse than a sandstorm, this certificate with your signature, but your chancellor merely kept batting me away with her flail of baseless denials. I suspect that the reason has nothing to do with my humble personage. She purses her lips and glowers at Jay. Oh no, this isn't about me at all. She narrows her eyes and peers into Clementia's face until later, finally looking away. Well, I see. Well, Chancellor, will you tell us yourself, or should I help you? Whatever is the matter, Wersarian. I'm afraid that my words may anger your lordship. The seal you are looking for was lost over a quarter-century ago. Her ladyship Theodora von Valentius ordered a new one to be delivered from the Imperium, but as you well know, we are a long way from Holy Terra, and with warp storms ravaging the Koronus Expanse, we have been unable to receive a replacement to this day. Give her the seal with the Winter Scale coat of arms. Could this be the seal in question? This is, without a doubt, an administrative seal from Winter Scale's realm. But why is it the original and not a copy? I think I understand. By the laws of the Imperium do not prohibit heirs and other houses from using seal in times of need. I will order the servants to have the machine called create a duplicate so as to avoid embarrassing predicaments in the future. There we go. You're dismissed. And that's what we get for exploring. We have it all in hand. You know, I should probably talk with Solomon here because he wanted me to talk with someone, or he rather wanted to talk to someone. Rogue Trader, the Marshal is ready to meet with you. Do you... I suppose we'll have the audience. I would prefer to know exactly what he wants to see me about. I do not know the details, but I would assume the procedure is the same as in Lady Theodora's time, a personal introduction reaffirming the allyship and discussion of tithe affairs. Okay, sure. That's a lot of people. Hi there. Solomon and a lady. I was not expecting a lady. A lot of doggos, too. He doesn't have Glado by him. Oh, that's because that's not Solomon. Okay. Marshal Gregorov Strock. Two markedly distinct figures approach your throne. Marching in front is a man clad in Adeptus Astartes armor. He carries his helmet in the crook of his arm, but his stern facade serves him as well as any visor could. He bows to you sharply. Marshal Strock of the Adeptus Arbites. A dry shadow. Okay. Follows the Marshal, an old woman familiar to you and likely to generations of clerks at the Administrative Palace. The ampleness of her robes gives the illusion that the Master of Seals is hovering rather than walking. The woman bows. Rogue Trader Miacidae von Valencius, I, Prefect and Scribe of Volater, greet you on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum. I will now begin due procedure of the official address of the ruler of Dargonus as formalized by the Amendum N4N10 to Law SK941. May your name be wreathed in glory for centuries to come. May your fortunes ever proliferate, and may the God Emperor bestow you a duty worthy of his chosen. Her monotonous droning makes you weary. It seems she intends to go on for a good while longer. Get comfortable and listen till the end. The prefect resumes her elaborate formula. You notice a few poor concealed yawns, frenzied blinking among the crowd. The speech drags on for another 5 minutes, but you pass this test of fortitude honorably. At the last, the prefect's address comes to an end. Is that not too many titles for one official? It is proportionate to my duties, your lordship. While I am involved with the administrative archiving cognitors, I proudly bear the title of Master of Seals. In all other circumstances, I am merely a prefect. This distinction allows me to organize my work in due fashion, and as you surely understand, clarity and order are critical components of the sacred acts of maintaining and managing records. So I don't recall seeing you at court. What's the purpose of your visit? The Marshal leans forward. His voice is low, and when he speaks, feels as though marble tiles of the palace have begun to vibrate. The Adeptus Arbitraries delegation has arrived to greet Lady Theodora's successor and see the extension of our decades-long agreement. If I may continue for you. She steps forward, dragging her feet slightly. As per decree of Theodora von Valencius, ORD 0373M, the representatives of the Adeptus Administrative and the Adeptus Arbitraries are sanctioned to use the Palace of Justice, oversee the tithe collection and the protectorate, and review any and all cases of tithe avoidance, tithe exceedance, and other irregularities. These rights have been formalized in numerous pacts and statutes under the main decree. Considering your new position, you may have yet to acquaint yourself with all these documents. You are the successor to Lady Theodora, whose alliance with our two sacred organizations forever glorified her as a rogue trader, closely tied her to the executors of the Holy Terror's will, and we representatives of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbitraries must verify that you are able to maintain this alliance that has brought such repute to your dynasty. That is why we have arrived in person at the present circumstances, as the present circumstances have provided us with a chance to see if your intentions concord with those of the late von Valentius. In what circumstances are those? Our work has been disrupted by unforeseen setbacks regarding communications and transportation. As our requisitioned assets were not adequately prepared, we have lost some of our personnel and resources as a result. The arbitrators are too short-handed to perform all duties expected of them. Since they first arrived in their expanse, their numbers, limited from the outset, have only continued to dwindle. After analyzing the situation in accordance with Amendment FS 893-24 to the Decree ORD-03739, we have decided to notify you of the tithe violation committed by one of the worlds in the region. This regrettable lapse must be rectified as quickly as possible. The old man shivers and rubs her augmented hands together with an unnerving creak. In what world has the misfortune of drawing your attention? Oh, I remember Thassera, a feudal world far from main routes that was bereft of the Imperium's light, then rediscovered less than 2 centuries ago. It supplies agricultural resources and manpower. Well, we can do that. We'll carry forth our duties taken by Theodore, and I can offer my help, yeah. An arbiter will be assigned to you to increase security. Proctor Anthar front and center. Marshal's voice thunders over the arbiter's ranks, and Solomorn Anthar, Solomorn, okay, marches over to the throne, his cyber mastiff on his heel. Well, thank you for your support. I'll go to Thassera as soon as I can. The Emperor protects. The Marshal makes a sign of the Aquila, and emotion is so sharp that you can practically hear it cutting the air. And once again, no specifics given, and my report, nobody ever stops to think. She catches herself and offers you a bow. I mean, as soon as I can. I'm not going to give you a date because I'm not sure when. But now we know what some of those worlds were for. Okay. It's kind of weird that I have a chair here and then the meeting spot was like right here. I suppose they can come up to here to talk to me while I'm sitting on this chair. So, does Solomorn have anything else to say? No. You wouldn't believe the kinds of poisons Glato has detected in your various nobles' possessions. Fortunately, they have made no attempts on your life, so I've limited myself to sending them a simple message. They may squabble as much as they like, but the moment it puts the Protectorate at risk, they will feel the hand of justice bearing down on them.
I see the forbidden.
Oh, more goods right here. Offerings to the guy. Okay. I am specifically looking for I don't know who. Courtly merchant. Curiosity merchant. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lasarius Carmelon, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my offerings. What curiosity? That's a beautiful eagle. What's its name? Her name is Aquila. As soon as I saw her, I knew the creature's such proud grace simply must properly be taken care of. Now Aquila is an integral part of my life, and as I am hers. Apologies, Aquila is still getting used to my replacement extremity. She liked the old one better. So what curiosities do you sell? Equipment for noble cyber assistants, of course. The demand is modest. A few can oh, so he sells stuff for the cyber guys. As such, can afford such luxury, but I am glad to have found my calling. So I want to see the curiosities. And I can get all of them. So that's for Cyber Skull Swarm, Cyber Eagle. I mean, we might as well grab all of them, but Cyber Kit permanently improves the Rogue Trader's familiar maintenance stations. When applied, both are improved. Can only be used if the Rogue Trader has the Overseer archetype. Oh, okay. What's this? That's for the Raven. This is for the Eagle. Gains 5 agility and perception and deals 100% more damage while the Eagle starts soaring. Adjacent enemies must pass willpower test with the 20 bonus or gain perplexed and deals 100% more damage to perplexed. That is cool. Or I can get air support here, which is 10 agility and perception, 150% more damage. I should just take all of this stuff and look at it later. Because I have... that. But then I can talk to him again and say, I'm a rogue trader and seek the rarest of curiosities. Do you have anything of that sort? My collection will offer you the biggest and broadest choice in all the expanse. However, even a devoted enthusiast like myself has limits. There's a certain captain who owns a unique protocol, a family heirloom, which he has refused to sell me. His ship, called the Renegade's Fall. Perhaps you can chart a path to his hoarded treasure. I will send you the coordinates of the place where we last met. So I'm getting a lot of quests here. And it's going, hey, if you go do this, you're going to get more stuff. And I'm really tempted to go do it. Let's talk to him a little more, because I like the eagle. Was your friendship with Aquila the reason you needed these augments? You are exceptionally observant. Developing a friendship with such a noble creature is a thorny path. And after a moment of exceptionally profound disagreement, I had to have my hand replaced. But this was purely for the beauty of the thing. I used to be passionate about finding rare augments and could not resist having them installed. But even if they were made by, shall we say, not purely righteous hands, but the fine craftsmanship, razor-sharp outlines. Please keep this a secret from the Adeptus Mechanicus. I know the Red Priests don't condone things like that. So, okay, if I want something, I'll let you know. So it was... we needed to talk to Solomon, we needed to talk to Jay, and we needed, Heinrichs. That's who it was. And I think Skylander was actually his buddy there. So I'm going to make the decision here to go out and get that extra stuff. Actually, the one thing we haven't looked at is I'm supposed to have like a room right here, ain't I?
Imperium,
this is kind of cool.
Gaze.
I have a hidden box right here with boots. Breeze catcher boots. Whenever the enemy moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, wear gains 15 dodge. What's this? Interesting looking computer thing. Cognitor with rhythmic sounds. Okay. Nice looking desk. Xeno artifacts. Theodora, you know they didn't like that. Nice little balcony. Just cutscene of the balcony. Where the servo skulls go. Yeah, it's kind of showing us our planet. Okay. Which is cool. It's really cool looking. Actually, cutscene, or thumbnail worthy, maybe. Safe. Sturdy safe equipped with several bizarre mechanisms. I mean, we can open it pretty easily. A multi-melta, excuse me? That could be really fun. Another door. Where does this one lead? To her bedroom. I hope we don't find any of her clothing. Bring your hand to the panel behind the books. You open a hidden door. Theodora. What did we have here? A lot more Xeno cargo. She was really interested in this stuff. Let's see what we have here. Shelves of the library are laden with dusty tomes. Your eyes linger on the works of several administratum adeptus and memoirs of some unfamiliar explorer who's of distant death worlds. Okay. Mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. I was gonna say fun looking guns. More cargo. We have a Zealot Cloak. When the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains 1 stack of Zealot. Until end of combat, Zealots deal 10% more damage with their area attacks for each stack of Zealot. Rare books arrayed on the shelves with their lavish, almost pretentious bindings seem to be identical in human hands. Oh, it's different. Strange objects lie behind the glass of the display case. The complete absence of explanatory labels make it completely impossible to learn what they are. I'll sit down on that in a moment. There's stuff over here that I want to look at. More cargo. Mysterious Xeno artifact rests in a stasis field. Another gun. Yeah. I'm sure if we sit down here, more stuff is going to happen. The secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you can easily imagine Theodora reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand. Choose a book. Several books are stacked next to the sofa. Some appear ancient, while others look like they have never been opened. Among Theodora's data that has been restored using your cognitor is the phrase litanies of motive force. There is one of the books here. As you pick up the book, there's a hidden button and its spine clicks under your finger. You notice a short description in the book from a faithful servant in the dynasty lasting memory DVV. We'll have some wine. 3 sealed bottles sit in a sturdy-looking low table. They are labeled Grand Master's Blood, Boon of Terra, and Flame of Purity. And how about the music? Bid screen of data slate for you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. I'm looking for anything that's DVV. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It's the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor. So what happens if we go to part 2? The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly with no change. Grandmaster's Blood. The full-bodied wine is sickly sweet, and you feel warm sluggishness wash over your body. The siren shatters, and tranquil alarms have been sounded. I messed up. Whoever has entered his lordship's chambers will be eliminated. It's just me. Deepest apologies for the intrusion. I didn't know the right code. Do you require assistance? But on second thought, we better just leave you in peace. So there was definitely a code there. I'm wondering if I can retry it. If servants ever access this room, they do so very rarely. So we can retry this. Boon of Terra? Nope, it was the other one. And they're gonna come again and go, Lord Captain, again? Again? Trespasser, surrender or be killed. Oh, Lord Captain, again? But it's you. Apologies, we're leaving. I should have just told him, next time the alarm goes off, don't do anything. Flame of Purity. The wine fills a glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, bitter aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum like an unseen motor stirring into motion. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in a nearby wall. Inside you find a data bank bearing the Von Valencius coat of arms. Data bank from Dargonus. There we go. So I think that was the data bank we were looking for, kind of like on Kiava Gamma. I didn't know we would have to go through that, though. Okay. So, before we go too far into this, it looks like I'm not gonna need, can I just go to this star system from here? No, I can't. It doesn't look like I'm gonna need those characters like I thought I was going to for the quest. I can just talk to them in here first of all. But I want to do those quests that I just got here. So like the one sending me after that pirate's treasure or the whatever. I kind of want to go do that quick. The one that I just got from the arbitraries guys. And do that thing for Jay. Because otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to get to finish them if I finish Dargonus first. That's my thought. I'm going to go do those. Then we'll come back and talk to that guy. Because, once again, I have a feeling that things are going to hit the fan. So let's go to the Administratum. We have to bring Jay. Get people back in the right order so I don't get too confused.
The world trembles beneath my feet.
Pretty sure I can handle anything that might happen with just these four, but... Master of Seals, get Jay her license. Here's your paper complete with seals. The ocular lens on the old woman's nose emits a subtle hum as she adjusts the magnification. Oh yes, indeed, it's perfect. The seals are authentic, so we may continue with the certification procedure. Follow me, please. Oh, there's even more to this? Wait in line. If that was really a goal, that would suck. This is your queue and your ticket number is 394. When it is your turn to be seen, the ranking prefect will review your documentation again and sign the official certification for J. Haydari to possess a Mercantum Tabula Official. You will have a bit of a wait, but will it be worth it in the end? Yes. Is this a joke? Hardly. In accordance with Decree DA 58, Clause 201, citizens of the capital or the world of Von Valencia's Protectorate must submit their petitions at one of the assigned windows in the waiting hall. The decree makes no mention of the rogue trader being exempt from this rule. I was going to say, that's for citizens, but not for me. Why am I different? Well, fine. If we must queue, we shall. Then I bid you good day. May the law and the Emperor keep you. I was gonna say, is there a way to skip the line?
Will bow.
There's goods right here. Taskless for current work. Oh, joy. I don't see a thing to, like, stand in line. Maybe we just go up to one of these and talk? Oh, I see it now. There's goods right here, though. Take your place in the queue. The queue hums with thousands of voices. Someone has rolled out a bedding and is settling down to sleep. Someone is playing some bizarre musical instrument. Many are praying. Several highborn petitioners are debating who is here on the most important business. You have to admit the magnificent administrative machinery of the Imperium isn't without its rough edges. But what's a thrilling adventure is turning out to be, Sherry, and I've never seen anything like it before. And sometimes it's good to take a break from the constant traveling, and to give all the hot-blooded newcomers a chance to cover themselves in glory without us in the way. So come to the people in the queue. The people are constantly moving, coming and going, changing places or simply disappearing from view. On your first attempt, you count 238 petitioners. On your second, you count 244. On your third, you count the next batch of unlucky souls is ushered into the hall and you lose count. Yawn. The minutes drag by intolerably slowly. Somewhere in the queue, a child is howling at the top of its lungs. The palace adepts are moving documents from one pile to another, shuffling papers. Several petitioners have gathered in a huddle and are swapping rumors, while someone has laid down for a nap on a nearby bench. Scratch the back of your neck. You have whiled away 30 seconds of your wait. You wonder how long you have left to go. Wait patiently. 8 hours have passed. Sounds about right. In the last 8 hours, the only thing that has changed in the waiting hall is the warden's shift. The petitioners in the queue placidly await the blessed hours their appeal will be heard by the high-ranking servants of the Imperium. The entire queue perks up with a sudden announcement. Number 285, proceed to available window. Throw and take me. What torturous trials have we let ourselves in for? So much precious time lost, and we only moved 3 places ahead. At this rate, we'll be old and gray before we get out of this queue. Do you have a better idea? You wound me, Shireen. J. Haidari always has a better idea. What would you say to making the good folk ahead of us hurry up a little? Just a smidge. Her eyes dart playfully over the faces of the people around you. The simplest way to make these lowly subjects bow down before the binding radiance of our title, Shireen. The second requires a little more patience. I've already found our first compassionate citizen who's standing 50 paces ahead of us in the queue. Simply offer the right words to unlock his heart and he will gladly swap tickets with you. Also, you have the power to solve problems with some petitioners removing their need to visit coveted window. After all, is there anything an ordinary citizen could want that is beyond the power of the conqueror of the stars to grant? Well, I can open fire. Why go through any effort when I can shoot everyone here? I can address the tender-hearted man. I can solve the problems of the people. A wise decision, Shireen. Cold traders always say, if you can solve a problem with cold hard cash, then it's the cost of doing business. Jay gives you a conspiratorial wink and backs away slightly. Oh, exalted one, could it be my lucky day? No longer will I have to stand in this hall waiting day and night for my turn to come. For this kind lord of House von Valencius is a benefactor of the downtrodden, and he has solved my problem. Yeah, I'm here. What of it? Esteemed lord, take pity on the poor youth as well. I'll give you everything I have, I swear before the Emperor. Only solve my problem. We do not need everything, poor wretch, only your place in queue. Listen to him. My lord, I've been in this queue for 24 moons already, trying to get permission slip to wed my fiancée Zazie. Unfortunately, the servants of the Ministratum refused to grant it without the signature of a high-born sponsor. Out of my way. Esteemed lord, my 8th offspring has lost his mind. He has decided to renounce his family, his noble title, and his talent as a healer, all for the sake of some tattered waif in the middle levels. A union with the Commodore will put an end to his studies at the university. But should Dargonus and the official Medicaid be depraved of a capable Chirurgeon because of a passing fancy? Zazie is a healer too, and she helps people of a hive a great deal more than any white lily Chirurgeon with a diploma. I do not want a life of a idle aspires in the Dargonus like you, not when I know there are thousands of unfortunate people in lower levels who need my help. Yeah, in the name of House Valencius, I hereby make your fiancée a lady of the court, and release her from any obligations thereto. That means our marriage will finally be certified, and Zazie will be able to become a Chirurgeon now too. I don't know how to thank you. My lord, here, I will return later. Take this time with my fiancée. She's not a lowborn anymore now, is she? You have an interesting way of doing business, Miss Shireen. I'll keep that in mind. Her eyes are alight with interest as she watches the young petitioner leave. Decrepit old man. After allowing you a brief pause, a hunched ragamuffin approaches you. The man's toothless mouth breathes out a putrefying cloud of air as he can only speak 3 words. Death for life. Jay peers over the man's shoulder to read his crumpled form. You are here to request mortification, so that your organs go to your granddaughter as an inheritance. She will hardly want your worn-out body parts, old-timer. Servitor disposal. The ragged man shakes his head and covers his face with his wrinkled hands. Only now do you notice a tattoo on his right hand, the symbol of the Adeptus Administratum, and several interlocking chains. It seems this fellow is the property of a prefect in the palace. Okay. Jay looks at the man's form again and rears back in horror. The granddaughter of this poor wretch has turned into a servitor 16 Dargonus years ago. And after a recent accident, she was listed for disposal, and now this old man is volunteering to be spare parts for a soulless tin can. May the Exalted One keep me from such a fate. See, the thing here is I have enough profit factor for, like, everything so far. Because I have 90. So, it's kind of like, and I've been able to buy, like, everything, so paying for the release isn't the biggest thing in the world to me right now. I'm sure there's going to be other shops that I need to pay more for and things like that. So this 1 point probably isn't going to be the biggest thing in the world. So I don't really like some of these other ones. So I suppose we'll buy the granddaughter's release. I don't see why that's an entire profit factor, considering what some profit factor can do, but... And see to your welfare. May the Emperor keep you. The man's weathered lips curve in a semblance of a smile. There's only like 4 more people, I think, yeah. Interesting, so that's how the ruler of the worlds and stars acts when he finds an unfortunate on the edge of his magnificent orbit. I heard you were helping those in need. Well, my family, it's devastated. My life's work, my shop's selling rare hats burnt to ashes. And I am living out my last years as a widow alone in a cold, deserted manor, without servants, diversions, or delicacies befitting my status. I could care less about that. A mature woman in a finely made threadbare dress greets you. The woman falls silent, her brow raised in expectation of your response. I would lose 3 profit factor to cover her expenses. Perhaps I can rebuild the shop of yours? Why did she not think of that before? Her beleaguered eyes sparkle to life. Why, that's a wonderful idea. Please take my place in the queue. I insist. I will leave my details with your retinue and go. I expect some of the profit, though. Hi there, sir. Or madam. So we did that for 3 hours. And it looks almost empty in here now. Well, that was amusing. I paid off the last few onlookers who were willing to give up their places. It's a pity they aren't so amenable. She inspects the tickets that she now holds and nods with satisfaction. We've moved forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? Yeah, if we only moved forward 3 places in 8 hours. So what about the tender-hearted man up front? This guy. May the Emperor illuminate your path, brother. I am Jay and this is Miacidae. We've been in queue so long already, we're practically family now. Won't you tell us what brought you to the Palace of Order? Yes, light of the throne bless you. My name is Menace de Pier. I've been here a month already. I tried everything I can get through that window. Nothing working. My poor Ilya. She's my daughter, flesh and blood. They detained her on Vabo 6. Charged her. Can you believe it? The charges were false. That's how our administratum operates. He covers his mouth and glances around fearfully. I've said too much. I do apologize. It's my nerves. My nerves. I just keep thinking about her there on Vabos, shackled down in the mines. My poor Ilya, delicate as a flower she is. She's got weak lungs, you understand, always coughing, and now down there in the mines, all that dust and muck. She won't cope with it, she won't. She was acquitted 2 years ago. But to get the papers certified and the seal, so much time has passed, and now here I am standing and waiting. It doesn't matter. And the rate this queue's moving, it'll be 10 cycles or more before numbers come up. What was your daughter accused of? Falsely accused, falsely accused. She was slandered. They say she deliberately poisoned a whole room of highborn folk with cakes. Have you ever heard of the like of it? No, I haven't. These nobles didn't even make as far as the privy. Panic, outrage, scandal, and what of it? It was their own fault, that's what. A crate of fine Calaxian wine was found. Yeah, smugglers were found too, and what did the smugglers do? They framed someone else. My daughter was charged. Of course, blame the smugglers. Well, I'm gonna get past him anyway, but Jay, you're supposed to be helping me out here. I don't want to, say, chew here. Oh. And I'm not giving him the profit factor. I've done that too much already. Well, good luck to your daughter. Thank you, and may the Emperor in your position. 8 more hours. I doubt the Exalted One will be much help if we're going to change tack without a warning, Shireen. We're not going to get any ticket now, at least. Not using these methods. I can snuff out an easy mark a mile away, and this hall there was only one. Another 8 planetary hours go by, and the queue has hardly moved. The adept in the next window was dealing with a rebel machine spirits in his cognitor, so the petition from that queue were diverted to the middle of yours. Shireen, you're a saint. Have I told you that before? You must be, because I don't see any other reason you would show such fervent but senseless patience. Can't we hurry things along? Fine, use your tricks. I'd prefer to call it my wisdom learned through many years' experience, but I don't care about using precise wording just now. How do you wish to proceed? Whatever you're thinking, just do it. You do not need to tell me twice. All is fair in love and bureaucracy. The certification officers only see petitioners who have assigned number ticket. Thanks to the Exalted One, I managed to get one in the next queue over. Oh, that's mean. No one told me about tickets. We've been sending 7 turns already. 2 hours later. If those Ashmegs want to be tricked, I won't let them. She smugly watches the agitated crowd, whispering among themselves, jabbing each other with sheaves of paper. We move forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? I guess we're gonna have to frighten them. The worms should bow down before the terror of their master and let us through. As you wish, your lordship. Ahem. Attention, all. Before you is his lordship, Miacidae von Valancius, the one who already has tried to pay you off, mind you, the rogue trader and anointed sovereign of this world. Bow your unworthy heads and give your master his rightful place in the queue. Coercion test succeeded. Blessed be his lordship the rogue trader and the entire von Valancius line. Of course we lowly subjects will bow our heads in reverence before our great sovereign, and will serve his lordship however he requires, for we find our purpose only through service through him. I've waited 5 cycles and I'll wait another 5 so I can keep my head on my shoulders. I mean, yeah. Look, Shireen. She's waving her hand in the air, clutching a dozen queue tickets. It went just as expected. Almost. Consider everything again. Of course, Shireen. Our number in the queue is... Oh, Exalted One, I wish I hadn't looked. We are definitely not going anywhere soon, and Shireen, you need to make us tick. I do not want to open fire here. Jay, I do not want to open fire here. Do we really need to open fire here, Jay? I suppose we've given everyone here a chance that we can. We've tried paying people off. We've tried telling people, hey, if you don't go, we are going to open fire. I am the ruler of this world. We've talked to everyone who will talk to us about it, and these people are still going, no, we're going to stay ahead of you. We have given them every opportunity we can. I guess it's time. Why go through any effort when I can simply shoot everyone here? I'm kind of done with the bureaucracy stuff. Oh, we shot at people's feet. I thought we were just going to shoot in the air. Can we get through this now? Do we get to go now? Look at all the people still standing here.
Trading is just like art. It takes skill and talent.
Okay, officer, hi. What is it you wanted, master? Certify this scrap paper or immediately lose your head. No, actually, would you be so obliging to certify this document? Of course! He glances at the horror of bodies behind you. Without further ado, the certification officer picks up the document and begins feverishly filling out the numerous forms. His augmented ocular eye whir as the lenses zoom in and out with quiet scratching sounds. The cogita quills serve in places as adept fingers make noise on a fine sheet of paper. Here, please take it, master. Return to this master of seals in order to proceed, and may his light and wisdom guard you. I think we're done here, finally. I tried to play nice with them. I very much tried to play nice with them.
I tread upon.
They did not give me another choice other than wait patiently for months or Karbam. The Temple of Law and Order greets you. You've returned with all the necessary paperwork. Did you not just hear everything? Yeah, here's all the seals placed by a certification officer. Wonderful! The Emperor blessed you with the patience greater than any apportioned by the ordinary mortals. No, they didn't. Allow me to verify the authenticity of your documents for the final time. Yes, confirmed. Everything is order, and this one, the seal is smudged slightly. Void scorpions scratch out my eyes. Now what? I suppose I can overlook, given that the rest has been certified correctly and promptly. Congratulations, J. Haydari. You are now the holder of a Mercantarium Tabula Officiale. Do not forget to repeat the certification process every 100 Terran years. Uphold the law of the Imperium proudly and honorably in the world of the Koronus Expanse. And one more thing. Loss of the certificate is a grievous transgression. Mistress Haydari, lose the original document and you will be unable to regain your status as a official trader representative, not even with the rogue trader's endorsement. Yes, esteemed Damar, give me the official certificate already. Come on. Praise be the exalted one. Jay's eyes dart over to the official and shine with delight. Praise be the exalted one who saw me through all these trials, Shireen. This is something to tell my grandchildren about how humble a mortal became a trade representative. Let's not bother with all the Damar any longer. Shireen, why don't we discuss our next steps on the ship? So now we need to go talk with Jay. We can get out of here. We can go to the spot for the other quests. Because holy hell, that was a lot of go here to talk to document signing thing. I'm surprised no one got shot there. Yeah, Thassera is over here, so that's not too far away. We're going to talk to Jay here really quick. See if I need to go anywhere else. Or if that part of her quest is done. Alright, what do we got to say here?
Reem, light of my eyes, giver of boons and savior of the needy. From now on, two sons will grace the firmament of the Font Valancius Protectorate. One bright and powerful, like the rogue trader himself, and the other slightly more humble, like his unassuming partner, the diligent owner of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, and all around delight, Jai Haydari.
I'm glad I didn't have to say all that out loud again. Because it sounds like I butchered every word. Especially when she's talking in that accent.
As I promised before, my crew will be your eyes and ears across the entire expanse, Shireen. Just give them time. And of course, the assistant to official trade representative Jai Haydari is already rushing to Dargonus to deliver goods of rare and exquisite quality to you and your people. O master of many worlds. And once again, Thank you, Shireen. From the bottom of my humble heart.
I like the trade agreement we have. You're welcome. I suppose that's what friends are for? We are friends, right? Lose this piece of paper and I will not help you get another one. Throne be my witness.
Nothing will make me part with this treasure, Shireen. May the Exalted One be my witness. Him and all the stars in the expanse that shine like a handful of pearls scattered across the dark velvet of the galaxy. I only have one last question to ask.
Jay flashes a conspiratorial smile and leans forward and shamelessly holds your gaze, completely ignoring the disapproving looks of the surrounding officers as she waits for your reply. Oh. I mean, the rogue trader could do much worse. Let's be totally honest here. So it looks like you maybe could do something with Cassia, and I just want to be completely upfront here. That scares the shit out of me. Because remember how potent her psychic powers are? If she can see your soul, first of all. So if something is up, she is going to see it. And if she gets slightly angry, everyone around her, including you, is going to be slightly angry. So you might be able to build up some tolerance to that, but depending upon how angry she gets, that's going to be harder and harder to resist. If she gets sad, everyone around her gets sad. Whatever emotion she feels, the people around her are going to feel. And the stronger that is, the stronger that emotion to everyone around her is. That scares the shit out of me. I think you could make passes at Cabela. Once again, she is stalker material, which scares the shit out of me, considering that she wants to join your minds. That is the epitome of do not stick your dick in crazy. Do not stick your dick in crazy. You will not like what happens. You might not be able to pull it out. You could make passes at Solomorn, which is kind of cool, considering, like, if you wanted to be a gay character, you could be a gay character, or I think that's, like, the one male character that if you were a female that I've seen so far, you could make a pass at. So, like, if you were a straight female character, you could try to romance Solomorn. I'm not sure about the other male characters if you were a female. And then Jay is like the one kind of like other... I don't think we've been able to make a pass at Argenta yet. Now, otherwise, the passes at Yerlet, I don't think really would have ended in anything, but I could be wrong there. But otherwise, Jay's the only one who's like seemingly probably could have gone anywhere. So among the retinue, the whole point in this is the rogue trader could do much worse. Crazy stalker girlfriend, shark girl who makes you feel every emotion she feels, so bad day turns into very bad day for everyone, could do much worse. And I'll see where this goes. Of all the like romance options, we'll see where that one goes. But we'll see where this goes. Might have to cut some of this out. But we'll see where this goes. And how can we resist such temptation? Because she's the first one to lean into this at us, too. Which kind of goes into Jay's character, by the way.
Oh, I most definitely am not opposed, Shireen. The sweetness of your lips, Shireen, clouds the mind better than Calixian wine on a balmy day. But you did not think I would just let you go, did you? A humble gift in return for all the trouble. May the Exalted One keep watching over the path that you tread.
Oh! Why, thank you. When the wearer ends their turn, they remove burning, bleeding, and toxin negative effects from themselves and adjacent allies. The wearer gains 1 temporary wound for each negative effect removed that way. I believe I have a version of this on Abelard, and this is a better version of it.
As you can see, I know how to be grateful and generous. And I'm sure you do too. I promise that I will continue to accept your every gift in the future with reverence and awe.
Well, interesting.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
I'll see you later, and then that's how she responds. That's interesting. Okay, so Abelard. What cape do you have, sir? When the wearer uses Endure, they immediately remove the effect. However, that cape we just got immediately removes all of those and gives more temporary wounds. Let's take that. I never looked at the eagle stuff that we got earlier. Enhanced optics, one I have right now, gives 15 perception, but I believe his attacks are based off of agility? I could be wrong there. Let's take a look here. I believe that is in features here. Yeah, familiar's agility, so that's the better thing to up. So I would lose a little bit of damage there, but when enemy Cyber Eagle starts soaring, the adjacent enemies must pass the willpower test or gain perplexed, and then if they are perplexed, I deal more damage, and making them perplexed is good. Or just have trade out the perception for agility, and when the Cyber Eagle is soaring, the Overseer gains critical hit chance, which could be big. So this as an overall is better in my opinion, but then the Winged Delusion has the ability to do more damage if I can pull off the perplex. But I think I'll take air support for now. Then we can go to Galato, because we got a few things for him. The 5 strength and then 100 and weapon skill. Living Snare is still better from that standpoint. And then whenever the Cybermaster falls unconscious, it gains 100 damage dealt until end of combat. So I would have to revive it to get that, but it could have more damage. I thought I got another one here. Am I not seeing it? I think it was this one. It gains 10 strength, deals 100% more damage. If adjacent to the enemy at the end of this Overseer's turn, gets 1 resolve until end of combat. If Overseer has Heretical, they also gain 2 to a random characteristic. But Solomorn is dogmatic, so that's not great. So whatever we got in Glado is fine. Living Snare, yeah. Then we also got these Plasma Shaper Gloves. That's 10 to tech use. Also Plasma Damage Weapon up by 3. Just plus 3 instead of 5% damage, so that's great. I'm good with that. Alright, so let's go to these other planets here quick. Because I'm not sure how much I'm cutting out of all that, because that was a lot of talking and fumbling on words that I usually cut out. And then we can go to Lavella's Heart here, which has the thing for Solomorn. Oh, permission to report. Your proctor has arrested my voidsman and is demanding his execution. A repeat offender, he says. Please do something, Lord Captain. Who's the voidsman? He's one of mine, not as big of an idiot as the rest of the idlers. He understands the control system and makes sense of readouts. Him, a repeat offender? Bring him to me immediately. Solomorn, what the hell are you doing? So he's behind Solomorn there. Lord Captain, I beg you to look into this outrage. This cyber whore nearly chewed up my assistants, and one of them's been left without 2 of his fingers. Instead of calming the beast, the Arbiter attacked my crewman. Solomorn waits for the end of Master Helmsman's words and coolly turns to you. His crewman is a wanted man, rogue trader. He is accused of subverting sacred tithe shipments, smuggling, kidnapping the Imperium subjects, and bribing officials. Were we not on your flagship, I would have executed him on the spot. But here, you are the authority, and you are the court. So why did you unleash the Cyber Mastiff on him? He tried to run when he saw me. His crew members hesitated and didn't make way for me. There was no time to find out if they were abetting the perpetrator or panicking, so I had Glado for suppression purposes. So why are you so sure that this is man you're seeking? Because I was personally involved in tracking down and purging the shadow of the Abyss crime syndicate which the perpetrator belongs. The case was in Calixis on the world of Helvetica Prime, but for the Arbiters, time and distance do not mitigate guilt. The man before you is the former captain of a smuggling ship owned by the Syndicate. Check the Heretic's left arm. Every Syndicate member has a distinctive implant by which they recognize each other. It was that implant signature which Glado picked up during his patrols. So how did the criminal from Calixis find a way onto my ship? He was among the servants you sent to you by Governor Bedina. Oh. Ravor, did you know about this? If I went sticking my beak into the past of every one of the hundreds of people in the crew, I wouldn't have time to steer your ship. All I know is that when everything went to Groksha on Rykad Minorus, this is one that oversaw the work at the docks, so the fools didn't trample each other to the death in their panic. And later he ran into a friend at Port on Footfall, and they found us some parts within a day. He's even got arms growing out of the right places. He might make it to junior helmsman if he keeps it up. Alright, accused, anything to say? Your lordship, Governor of Helvetica Prime, was a scumbag who abhorred the light of God Emperor. The things he did to the people under him, we only survived by stealing from him. Or else we'd ended up in a corpse pit like 1 in 4 did after a distribution station accident. But once I got out of there, that was it. I was out of that business for good, and when I found myself in your service, I realized that was a gift of fate. I'd be a fool if I didn't repay such good fortune without my wholehearted toil. Okay. I mean, if that's that, if he's working good, he's working good. I was gonna say, he's the Ravor's responsibility now. Repairing the voidship requires 15 less scrap. Every professional counts. What does it matter how they obtain their skills? The rogue trader does not shun people with murky pasts, thus earning them the respect of Ravor's motley crew. Or I could get a profit factor. Yeah, Ravor, he's your responsibility. Yes, Lord Captain. So, that's that. Case is closed. With your permission, I've returned to my duties. And we have a few less fingers on board. Great. Thanks. Or technically, we have the same amount of fingers, just not attached to as many people. Alright, Thassera, what's the deal here? Lord Captain, we've received a vox cast from Thassera. The signal quality is rather poor, but the meaning is clear. The world is expecting your lordship's arrival. Great festivities have been arranged, and a delegation led by the planetary governor is ready to give you a welcome worthy of an honored guest. Somehow I doubt this. But let's check it out. Yeah, Solomorn has to come along, and then we'll just take Argenta and Pascal. Some nice looking pictures here. Why does that look like an Iron Maiden to me? So it's like a feudal world, they said, so it kind of still built with stone and wood. Yeah, they're on horses, but yet they have guns and servitors. That's kind of interesting. Knights, and yet... and samurai-looking people. And yet we have guns. Governor Rulodo. Celestial guests, there is no higher honor for us than to extend our hospitality to such noble eminences. His Celestial Highness, the rogue trader and illustrious judicator of the Imperium, all of Thassera's clamors, trembles and cheers. Rudal the fair face, the governor of Thassera, at your service. Thank you for the courteous welcome, Governor. However, we have come here to address a grave concern. But of course, your Celestial Highness, it would be my pleasure to discuss whatever topic you have in mind. That said, you have had such a long and perilous journey behind you, and like any self-respecting host, I must first propose... Is that the jester? Bluff the court fool. A smaller figure steps out of the crowd, just in a motley attire of a court fool. wearing a sneering mask. My name is Bluff. I am Lord Rualdor's good mood. I tickle his governorship with well-spouted jests and itty-bitty gossip, and now I merely doff my cap to our celestial lords and ladies and hand them this here key to Thassera as a token of our boundless loyalty. The fool bows and offers you this gift. Thank you, Bluff. It's a bomb, isn't it? The fool parts with his offering, then jumps away with an irritating giggle. The key to Thassera. A large key with coat of arms embossed on its side. It's not a bomb, okay. Being the paragon of grace is what he is, would my celestial lord perhaps also deign to feast his ears on the latest Thracian gossip to my ears? Awareness. Look at the governor. The governor's heavy gold-stitched jacket adds a certain presence to his figure, but it cannot hide how poor of a rider he is. The way he digs his boots into his horse sides, his hands fiddling with the reins, his trembling fingers all speak the nervousness of control. Interesting. Let's keep him on that horse. So, tell me your gossip, then. Well, slap my grox. Fine, then. Listen to this. One-eyed hares of the common man went out of a thieving one day. He sneaks into a hut, itching to fill up his sack, and what does he see? A scary big shadow on the floor. He turns around, and right behind him a giant, a monster with hands like an imperial columns. It grabs him by the throat and starts beating the air out of him like he's a ball of dough. Turns out he's popped by Margith's place. And she used to work him by the bone mill, no worse than 10 men could when she was young. The fellow's been one eye ever since, and is he glad he's not one arm or one leg? Huh. Would that be... There's actually a sense to that. So, what I gather from that is someone tried to break in somewhere, and, I forget what they're called, but there is a mutant in the Imperial Guard. Ogren. Then probably an Ogren picked him up and beat the shit out of him, and now he lost an eye because of it. So what happened to your face, Rudello? He touches his stretched out countenance. Oh, this is a fine tradition that I brought to this world. You see, there's a way to tame the merciless passage of time, and all you need to do is find a young and healthy face, appropriate it, and attach it over your own fading skin. The local nobility eagerly took to this art of extending one's life and youth. I, once a celestial lord myself, now promote this custom by personal example, so I may showcase its wonderful properties. What in the unholy hell? This vile practice is banned today. Oh. He looks confused for a few moments. Yes, of course. This very day, it's banned. Rudello, I think you know why we're here. Actually, no, Abelard. Announce the purpose of our visit to these provisionals. No. Nod to Solomorn. Enough. Accordance to the data protocol Kellogg's Sigma UX 11-4, this Mu class planet type feudal Astamir rating E874 with an assigned tithe grade Solito Extremis has not provided its due tithe amount in full. You have violated the Lex and are hereby under investigation. You are to present all related custom reports and shipping manifests immediately. The proctor's voice carries no emotion, and Glado silently bares his teeth, completing the image of the impeccable hand of justice that has arrived on Thassera. I am most flattered by your attention, esteemed judicator, and by this opportunity to serve the Imperium with even greater dedication than before. Speaking of dedication, we are already conducting a thorough inspection of which describe that it was to bungle the tithe calculation. Fear not, the scoundrel shall soon be. That was actually harder to say for me than you would think. The scribe shall soon be. For some reason. Excuses are the hallmark of the guilty. Do not make your situation worse, Governor. Rudol clasps his hands together and says meekly, "Of course, Master Judicator. I'll provide you with all the documents as soon as our internal review is complete. I assure you it won't take long. The report itself will be exhaustive." I believe there is something else the esteemed Governor wished to say? Thank you, Your Celestial Highness. We know the journey here must have been an arduous one. As a sign of our appreciation, we have prepared a veritable constellation of enjoyments in your honor. We humbly invite you to taste our amasec along with our finest dishes. May you likewise savor some of the local entertainment. One of the court ladies will accompany you, so not let a single word of your wishes linger without attention. Oh, how nice of you. A thin woman emerges in the torchlight, looking at you with a mixture of fear and awe. Her diminutive figure is practically drowning in her velvet and silk dress. A resplendent necklace of blue stone adorns her neck. Maeve, my celestial lord, at your service. Solomorn leans closer and says in a lowered voice, based on my experiences, I say we have been assigned to spy under the pretenses of generosity. But this is a good thing. We will use this young woman as our source of information about the world. For now, it would be wise to play along and question her thoroughly once we are away from prying ears. Relax, Maeve. Just pretend you're giving a good friend a tour of the place. I'm afraid that's easier said than done, my celestial lord. It would be like trying to imagine a mighty sun as a tiny ember, but I'll do my best not to anger you by acting too nervous. You mentioned entertainment. Tell me more. Tada the Scorched is hosting a public trial for the few guilty wretches today. I also overheard this council of Theresian nobility was preparing a special gift for you. Besides those, our mechanical orchestra, only one on Thassera, will be playing all evening. And of course, you will also get to see the crowning jewel of Rudel's constellation, his maimed, metal-harnessed beasts. Oh. Eh. Little beasties like to play. People are their favorite prey. Champ and chomp and munch and crunch. Look, he's snapped your head away. Screams and tears and gore and more. Happy beastie, happy day. Bluff. I think I would get so much more information out of you. Fascinating, the servitor orchestra considering everything else here. How did you acquire something like that? Though, at most, once only a generation, even Thassera receives visits from time to time, your celestial highness. One day, an entire delegation from a foreign world arrived with these mechanical musicians in tow. We were immediately smitten with them, and sadly our performers have now fallen into a sorry state. Thassera's humid air makes their preservation difficult, you see. We don't have a single crimson-clad holy man or woman left. All we can do now is offer up prayers of our own, burn oils, and do everything else the old writings say, even though we have no hope of understanding them. Judging by the stench, the servitors, or more specifically parts of them made of flesh, will not last much longer. Slime oozes from rust holes, every other lifeless eye is adorned with cataracts, and their mouths are like corpse dumps filled with shards of rotten teeth. Every wrong note their instruments play is accompanied by mournful screeching of servo motors and sparks flashing from dangling wires. Pascal's operatal visor is filled with deep red, and his vox speaker erupts into a howl of pain fury. I am registering heretical sacrilege, born from the stupidity of self-entitled lady. The commandment, allow not the false prophet to touch upon the mysteries of Omnissiah, has been violated. The commandment, offend not the Omnissiah by neglected misservice, has been trampled. What scoundrel was it that thought to burn sacred unguents instead of incense? Ooh. Well, let's see what the place has to offer, and where we can go from there. Maybe I can tell by what I'm hearing our executioner has already lit up Phasmophorus, ready to give the condemned a warm welcome. Which means the governor's official whisper collector, that's me, has a whole lot of important business to get to, and so I must leave you now, good sirs and ladies, lest I miss out on a hot batch of juicy tales. Terribly pleased to meet you all, honored judicator. Bluff grasps Solomorn's hand and gives it a vigorous shake. Did he just put something in Solomorn's hand? Glado bit him. Before you can even blink, the cybermastiff beside him sinks his teeth into Bluff's forearm, jerking it back and forth with fury. The attack lasts only for a moment, but when Glado lets go, the fool's limb is already torn to shreds. The cry of pain, Bluff leaps away and melds into the roiling crowd. Solomorn roughs Glado's neck and turns to you. Feudal worlds are rarely known for their bureaucratic procession. Reconnaissance on the ground will tell us more than any report hastily scribbled down by these blockheads, and I suggest we attend this trial and see how the laws of the planets are enforced. Alright, well then let's go. It's not a question of preference, but what might help the investigation. So the execution will gather a crowd, and in turn we gather information that will prove useful, considering how eager everyone was to make their exit. So, Celestial Lord, you're coming as a historic event for these people. Rest assured, the locals will be watching your every move, and every single word or careless gesture from you may well transform their lives on this underdeveloped world. So, unless it throws me into another cutscene here, which it is, so never mind. Oh, she's just going to follow me. I'm going to continue this world in the next episode, and I think there was one more thing before we go back to Dargonus in the next world, because it looks like Dargonus is just going to keep flinging me back and forth between worlds, and I'm going to keep doing those until there's something that happens on Dargonus, which I fully expect to happen. And we'll just continue from there. I wasn't sure what I was expecting from Dargonus, but I was not expecting to, like, get a bunch of quests there. Or, like, mini quests that sent me off-world, and then go back and keep kind of doing that. So, I mean, we'll just play this by ear, because I do want to complete all the mini quests that I can before finishing this, because I'm not sure. I'm sure there's something past Chapter 2, because I think this is technically Chapter 2. Chapter 1, it kind of had a point of no return, where once I did that, I couldn't do anything else there. And I want to make sure that if I do this, or once I finish Dargonus or whatever, just in case there is a point of no return, I have pretty much all my T's crossed, my I's dotted, all that stuff. So that's why I'm kind of doing all this. So we'll pick up from here. And then I think there is one other quest. I'm not entirely sure where, but I'll figure that out pretty quickly. And then go from there. So, yeah, anyway, we'll pick up from there in the next episode. And see just what we can get done. And see if we can't dive farther into Dargonus. And that'll be the plan. So, as always, wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.